Hello my dear friends, welcome to my channel. This is Zoe. A lot of friends have watched my videos speaking in different languages. I got a lot of comments like, you give me the passion and inspiration to learn or relearn a language. I also receive comments like, Zoe, I feel motivated, I feel ready to learn a new language. I already have my target language in mind. But please help. Where should I start? Should I learn with a tutor or go to a language school? If I don't have the budget, can I still learn a language? We know there are different parts to learning a language: vocabulary, grammar, reading, writing, speaking, listening. But what should I do first? How do I balance them? Or which resources should I use first? A book, a video, a YouTube channel, an app? Should I start watching series or listening to podcasts? So much information, I feel lost. I just don't know how to start. If you have these questions, this video is for you. In this video, I will be sharing with you my experience of starting to learn a language from scratch by myself. I will be sharing with you what I did step by step, and when I started practicing with a native speaker. I will try to give you a clear idea so that you are really ready to start your language journey. Let me briefly tell you about my language journey. I've learned 6 foreign languages through different approaches. First, English, a little bit at school like everybody, and I have improved it by myself. Then French, I've been to a language institute in France for 1 year. Then Arabic, I started to learn it with a book by myself at the same time as I was looking for a beginner's course at the university. Then I traveled to Arab countries during a summer holiday for intensive courses. German, I learned on my own up to A2 level. Then I took courses at Goethe Institute in Egypt while I was learning Arabic there. Then Turkish and Persian. I started to learn these 2 languages completely by myself. I didn't go to language schools because I had more experience in learning other languages and a clear idea what I had to do step by step to reach conversational level. This is the part I want to share with you today. If you like this video and think it's useful, please give me a like and share with others. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Step 1. Do research. Just research the language to get the basic idea. For a language like Chinese or Japanese, what is the writing and pronunciation system? How many characters do you need to learn? Arabic, how many alphabets? What is the difference between Standard Arabic and other Arabic dialects? Which one is the most suitable for you to learn? There are many such videos on YouTube or articles on Google. The most important thing is to notice the difference between the language you know and have a general idea of the difficulties you are going to encounter. For example, the 4 tones in Chinese would be difficult for you. Certain Arabic letters would be difficult to pronounce. Grammatical gender would be a challenge for a Chinese speaker. It all depends on your native language and the languages you know. Some people may say that it will put people off and they don't even want to start. But you can't do something because it's easy if you want to reach a level of fluency and not just a few words of greeting. If you know Mandarin, we have an expression, 痛并快乐着, doing something with pain and joy. This is exactly how I feel about learning a language. So don't rush to learn a language. The research stage is very important to prepare yourself mentally so that you don't feel so overwhelmed or lost after really starting to learn a language and then quickly giving up because of the hardships. Step 2. Prepare the tools, a main learning resource. In my case, a structured book with audio or a YouTube channel. Stick to one resource at first. If you are learning a language with new alphabet, alphabet app or alphabet books for kids will be very useful. Like this. An Excel table or notebook. I will explain later why I prefer to use Excel. A spaced repetition application to review. In my case, I use Anki. A reliable dictionary with audio and a conjugation table. Note this down. This is very important for the following steps. In my case, I use reversal for Arabic, German, and Turkish. There are translation, there are context sentences and conjugation table. To learn Persian, unfortunately, there is no audio on Google, so I use Volvo to check the pronunciation. Then I record it in my Anki. I use the recorder feature on Anki.
موفق باشید.
موفق باشی.
And there's a site called Persian Verb Conjugator. I will put the link in the description. Step 3. How to choose the resource. If you are learning the 7 languages I know, you can find ideas in my videos or in the post I've published on Instagram or here about the resources I use. If you want to learn a language outside these 7, here are my criteria to choosing learning materials with a good quality audio and video. Each lesson has a short conversation, grammar points, and a word list. Personally, I don't really like to start with a few words or phrases out of a context with an application. It's too slow for me. But with a basic conversation such as greeting, introduce myself, asking others for basic information, describing something, to put me directly in a conversational situation from the very beginning. I use the Deutsche Welle Deutsch Lernen platform to learn German on my own. I have finished all the A1, A2 lessons with Nicholas Weg. It's a perfect resource. It's just so good. There are videos, grammar points, exercises, and at the end, the word list with audio. If you are learning German, you are just so lucky. When I first started learning German, I only used this platform and a dictionary. Then I put the new words from each lesson into my Anki deck. What I did was repeat the video and shadowing, review the words and grammar point. That's it, nothing more. But if you want to learn a language with new alphabet, you can start with alphabet lessons on YouTube or an app like this one, but learn the words together. Even at the beginning, you could memorize with Latin alphabet. For example, you learn the letter An in Arabic. So try to say how to say family, aile. You don't know how to write in Arabic, you can just note it down in Latin alphabet. It will be more fun and you will be happy to start learning some words. In my opinion, an application like Duolingo is very good to discover language a little, especially when you don't have much time. But I just don't use app to learn a language. It's just not my style. So I prefer to use a book rather than just repeat simple words. I only use Anki to review when I go out. If I'm at home, I prefer to use Anki on my computer than on my phone to be more focused, far from my smartphone. So the next step is how to organize your studies and know when to practice with a native speaker. To learn how to create an effective learning study plan, you can watch this video, in which I explain in more detail how to set a goal, how to make short-term and long-term plans, and how to track your progress. Okay, when should I start practicing with a native speaker? Classic input-output question. Answer: when you have built the basic structure of a language. In my experience, it's not a question of like after 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Everyone's situation and the time they can invest in learning a language are different. But when you feel that you already have some basic knowledge of the language, you won't have much difficulty introducing yourself, talking about your daily routine. You won't just stay at the level of greeting. How are you? Fine, thank you. And you? Fine, thank you, bye. And you know that you will really practice the new words, the new structures with your language exchange partner. To get to this level, you need to have at least 100 basic words with high frequency and a concept with basic grammar and conjugation, past tense, present tense, future tense. I have an Excel spreadsheet in which I classify basic words, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and nouns for different subjects, place, time, color, food, weather, number, date, etc. I don't just find a bunch of vocabulary online, copy, paste. It's very easy. But I add words in gradually. How? Do you still remember the main learning resource I just mentioned? For example, I will use this book to learn Turkish. Today is going to be the first lesson. First, I will follow the lesson, listen to the audio, checking the meaning of each word, checking the grammar, and repeating with audio. Next step, very important, I will add some words from this book to my Excel. But while I add new words like, for example, this lesson, Mehmet iyi bir genç, o öğrenci. Mehmet, the name, iyi, good. I will add it on adjective. Good is iyi. But how to say bad? Kötü. Bir, number. So how to say 1 to 5 in Turkish? Add it to the number. Genç, young. How to say old? Yaşlı. I check it, add it to my list. O öğrenci. He is a student. So he is O. How can I say I, you, he, him, they? Okay, check it. Put it on the list. Öğrenci, student. Okay, so how to say teacher? Check it. Öğretmen. Put it in my list. Ayşe güzel bir kız. Ayşe is a beautiful girl. Okay, güzel, adjective. Bir kız, kız, girl. So how to say boy? Erkek. Put it in the noun. Keep testing yourself. If you see the word, for example, today in a lesson, check at the same time how to say yesterday and tomorrow and put that in your notebook. No need to do much at once, like adding all the adjective. You won't digest them anyway. Just follow the book. Another tip, start making simple sentences from the beginning. Like, for example, we learn how to say young, but it's Mohammed genç, ben gencim. I am young. Okay, how to say old? O yaşlı, he's old. O öğrenci değil. He's not a student. Onlar öğretmen. They are teacher. Now you are using the words you just learned from the first lesson. You see, with just a few words, you can already say a lot. Then I insert the sheets into my Anki and review them with sentences. One tip, don't build a too heavy Anki deck from the beginning. You will feel overwhelmed. I don't really like using a prepared set, but prefer to add words gradually with my learning process. From the very beginning, if you want to review a word or test it yourself, don't test just the word itself, like how to say young in Turkish, genç, but the whole sentence, even a very short one. You can relate this sentence to your daily life. I bet you will remember it so well. This is a very good tip. For example, for the word young, I will make a sentence. Hilal is a smart young Turkish girl. Hilal zeki genç bir Türk kızdır. My French friend Pierre is very lazy. Fransız arkadaşım Pierre çok tembel. Hilal, she's my language exchange partner. Pierre, he's really my friend. Sorry, Pierre. So, recap. Study the lesson. Write down the keywords. Make sentences related to your life. Put the quality cards in an Anki. Review. Another important part, having a concept with basic grammar and conjugation, past tense, present tense, future tense. For example, in the second lesson, the verb showed for the first time is gitmek, to go, istiyorum, I want, çalışmak, to work, to study. You can already start doing your first conjugation exercise. That's why conjugation dictionary is very important. Don't just write them down. Speak out loud. To go, gitmek. Ben gidiyorum, sen gidiyorsun. Siz gidiyorsunuz, biz gidiyoruz, onlar gidiyorlar. And repeat it again and again. And when you feel that you can already talk about yourself, about your daily life, even with a simple sentence, this is the right time to start finding a language exchange partner who can correct your pronunciation, grammar, check your journal, recent sentences, or even your journal for you. You can practice conjugation together by giving each other examples. I have many tips and tricks for learning a language with an exchange partner. I will make specific videos to talk about it and give you more details, I promise, guys. From zero to starting to speak with native speaker, this process can be very quick, like 1 month if you study every day. Then you can literally talk about a lot of things. If it takes you 3 months or more to get there, that's fine. I saw a comment from a friend under my post. He says learning a language is a marathon, not a race. This message is for you as well. The last thing I want to say is that people always ask, should I study grammar or not? My advice is not to do it separately, like words. It's so boring. But it depends. Some people just like grammar, good for them. You can build up a grammar point progressively with a good learning resource. I mean, you learn those grammar points from a conversation, not just from a boring book. Here I got a question from Rose Gold about grammar. I'm gonna read it. Okay, it's a bit far. Hi Zoe, hope you are well. I was wondering how extensively you should study grammar. I'm learning Korea and When I first studied, I was taking notes of everything from the lesson with example sentences, but I found I was just copying the information from a lesson to my notebook with not much change. So I just stopped writing down the lesson because I was afraid it was a waste of time and wanted to keep moving forward. Basically, how do you think grammar should be studied to be remembered? Okay, actually, you don't have to write everything down, especially the examples. I'm not suggesting you copy the examples directly from the lesson because it's not from you. You have to use this grammar to talk about things that relate to you. For example, there's a sentence, Ben yazabilirim, I can write. Likewise, you would just copy this sentence or more sentences and you think, oh, you have studied a lot, you have written a lot. Actually, not very effective. I will not just write it in my notebook and repeat. I will try to use it. Now I can write some Turkish. I'm very happy. Şimdi biraz Türkçe yazabilirim. Çok mutluyum. Or I can make other sentence. I hope I can write more in future. Umarım gelecekte daha fazla yazabilirim. These phrases come from my heart. I really think like this. If I meet a native speaker, I will probably use them. So don't be lazy in this part. If you just copy the sentence passively, you are not really using it. It's not effective, in fact. Okay, some people say you can learn the language by watching series or movies. It's more fun. It depends on the learning style, of course, but it doesn't work for me. At the beginner level. I just need a very clear and structured program. For the intermediate or advanced level, it's a good exercise. And there are always friends who ask how to incorporate the language learning into daily life. In my experience, do it less, even 15 minutes a day. Before you go to work, really do it every day. I feel more effective studying like this than working 2 hours once a week. It's a matter of habit. I know I always repeat this point in all my videos because it's the key, guys, consistency. Anyway, I'm gonna repeat it again and again. And learning a language or anything else requires concentration. You can't say, okay, 15 minutes, I go through several words and at the same time, I'm checking my Instagram. 15 minutes, a small lesson, several new words, do it with focus, make sentences, try to use them. I feel like I really need to make videos to talk about how to increase focus, avoid procrastination, and stay motivated. I saw your questions, guys. I hope to share more helpful tips on these topics in the future videos. Feel free to share your story, your struggles as always. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a like to support me. So, see you very soon, guys. Bye!